Okay, guys, welcome back. So, as I said, today we're going to be practicing our multi-step 3-digit problems. And we're really focusing today on just the skill behind those problems. But before we get started on that, I wanted to kind of warm you up a little bit. And we're going to do that by reviewing some math facts. So, if you will look along with me, let's see how this opens up. Just a reminder for Miss Austin to turn off her phone. Sorry about that, guys. So here we are starting off with a math fact, 8 plus 4. So I want you to take a second. Think about 8 plus 4. Tell me the answer. 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. Let's go to the next problem. 2 plus 6. Say it out loud. 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. Remember, we're going kind of fast here because these skills should be coming to you much faster now. 8 plus 11. 8 plus 11 is 19. 8 plus 4. 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. 3 plus 7. 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. 15 plus 1. 15 plus 1, 16. 5 plus 2. 7. 11 plus 6. 17. Miss Austin almost said 16. Okay, guys, so what you can do for me now, we're about to move on. Let's pause real quick so we can get to our next section. Okay, so we're going to go on to our next page. Okay, so we're going to do a little skill review here. In our skill review, now that we've warmed up our brains and we're thinking mathematically, we're going to go back and we're going to review some place value together. We want to represent numbers in standard, pictorial, expanded, and word form. As you can see, I already have the numbers up here for you. I have 2 different numbers for you to look at. So if you feel really great about doing this as a standard number, pictorial, expanded, and word form, I want you to pause the video, do your work, and then come back and check your video, check the video. If you're not quite remembering what these things mean, then you can work along with me. So go ahead and pause if you need to. Otherwise, let's work on these together. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my work. Okay, so the first number that I gave you this morning was this number. And this number right here, this number is the way we write any number in standard form. Remember, it's just the fast, quick, easy way that we would write down a number. So this is our number 372 in standard form. Now, the next thing I want to show you is a pictorial model of this number. So I'm going to show you this number 372 in pictures. So I can tell that this number, I'm going to draw a little chart to help me plan it out. It has 3 hundreds. I use my squares to represent the hundreds. It has 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are those 7 tens. I use the sticks to represent. And on the ones, I have 2 of those. Remember, these are the little bitty dots. You don't want to make tiny little squares because that can get confusing between whether it is a hundreds or a one. So we represent the ones with just the little dots. And this is our number 372 in pictorial form. Now, the next one I wanted to work on with you was expanded. And this number in expanded form would have, again, I use my chart, I come back to help me. It has 300, 7 tens, which is 70, and 2 ones, just a little bitty 2. And the last part we're going to do is word form. Remember, this is actually very easy. I do not take off for your spelling, but I want you to have those basic words spelled correctly. This is where you write the number just as you would say it with your mouth. So this number is 372. 372. Okay, good job, boys and girls. Should all be coming back to you now. So I gave you one more to practice, and that number in standard form, the easy way of writing it, is 1,184. 1,184. I'm going to draw a little squiggly to show how these are separated. If I want to show you this number in pictorial form, I always like to start the same. Now, this is my thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Just doing this little basic place value chart helps me to really picture the number and keep everything straight. So I can see that there is 1,000 in this number. Remember, you have multiple ways of showing that. The basic way is just to draw a square and put a TH on the inside. Now, I have a lot of artists in my classroom, so they like to draw the 3D cube to show the thousands. And if you can do that quick and easy, go for it. If you're struggling with that a little bit, you might have some extra time right now to practice. So go for it. And if not, just stick with your square with the TH on the inside. I have 100. I'll show it to you on both lines. I have 8 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did it 2 different ways, but really it's the same thing because they both show 1,184. Up next is expanded form. We're going to look at expanded form. I can see that we have 1,000, 100, 80, and 4. And this is another great way to help you write expanded. Look at your picture. It shows you exactly what to write down. 1,000, 184. Okay. And then last, but of course not least, we're going to have our word form. And again, write it just as you would say it. This is 1,000, 100, 84. Okay, boys and girls, so good job. Just a quick review on what we have learned before to keep those skills nice and fresh in our heads. And now we're going to start our new skill for the week. Okay, guys, so here's a little intro to multi-step. Don't worry, we're not jumping right into these word problems. I just wanted to show you some examples of what you might see when it comes to multi-step word problems. So first one we have, Ms. Austin has 346 pencils. She buys 289 more pencils. Ms. Morris gives her 181 pencils. How many pencils does she have now? So there's more than one thing happening here. I had some pencils, I bought some more. Usually that's all we see, stops there. But now Miss Morris gave me more. So there's really three numbers that are involved there. The second one, there are 521 people at the park. 268 people leave to go to the museum. 137 people leave to go home. How many people are at the park now? Once again, it is showing you that there's three numbers happening. So there were a bunch of people at the park, some left for the museum, and then some left to go home. And the last one, the second grade classes are having a bake sale. They made 428 cookies and 327 cupcakes. They sold 186 yummy treats. How many treats do they have left? So again, right now we're just focusing on seeing what they look like. We're going to start dissecting these questions more next week and really getting into the problem solving. But again, today, we are just focused on this skill. So let's just take these skills right here. I have an addition multi-step problem for you to practice with me. And here, we are going to look at 346. I'm writing this down on my paper. I'll share with you in just a moment. Plus 289 plus 181. Okay, so we're going to flip over now to notebook. Okay, guys, so here we have this problem, 346 plus 289 plus 181. And I know for me personally, when I was giving feedback for last week's assignments, I was telling my students solve vertically. This is going horizontally. I'm writing it across. But when you do your math work in your paper and you're turning that into your teacher, you need to be solving vertically. So I always have my students make a plan, and this is going to be familiar to you because we have done multi-step before, boys and girls. It's just that we only did it with 2-digit numbers, but I always had you make a plan. So in our plan, I like to write my steps down. So step 1, I'm going to take the first part of the problem, and I never pick and choose. I always try to go in order. So I have 346, and I'm going to add to that 289. And that is going to give me a box answer. It's probably starting to sound familiar to you. So for step 2, I'm going to take that box answer, whatever I get that's in that box, and then I'm going to finish the problem, plus 181. And that's going to give me the entire answer. Absolutely all of it. Okay, so now I'm going to solve my step 1. Step 1 is 346 plus 289. Set yourself up, 346 plus 289. And you know what? I forgot to turn my notebook sideways. I was just not thinking. So I am going to draw my place value chart instead of using my blue lines, just so I can keep myself nice and organized. So over here, I have 6 plus 9. Well, I know this 9 is almost 10, so I'm just going to take 1 from the 6. That would make 10 and 5, and 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 cannot fit in the ones place. So the 5 stays in the ones place, and I'm going to carry over. Let's put it right here, that 1. So now I have 8 plus 4, which is 12, plus 1 more, gives me 13. Oh, 13 doesn't fit, so I'm going to carry it over to the hundreds place. 3 stays, the 1 gets carried over. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 more gives me 6. I have 635. And this is why we do that box. This tells me this is the new number that I'm going to put into my box, and this gives me my plan for step 2. Now I'm going to do 635 plus 181. So I'm going to set up over here. 635 plus 181. Remember, boys and girls, you can pause the video whenever you need to if you need to do some catching up. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. 3 plus 8, I'm going to count this one up. 8, 9, 10, 11. Gives me 11. Carry it over to the hundreds place. 6 plus 1, that's 7. Plus 1 more, don't forget. That will give me 8. That means my entire problem is 816. That is all the steps that I have done together. 816. Okay, so we're going to practice another one. Make sure you still have space on your paper, and if not, you might have to go to another page or on the bottom, but it looks like I have plenty of space right down here. So let's take a look at our next problem. Okay guys, so now we're going to take a look at a subtraction multi-step problem. And this problem is going to be 521 minus 268 minus 137 equals something. We're going to find out what that something is. So let's go over to our notebook now. Okay, and again, you can see that I have written my problem vertically across, but that's not how I'm going to solve. I'm going to set up horizontally again. My little place value charts stay organized. This time I'm just going to skip a space right here because I want to leave myself room in case I have to regroup. I don't know if I'm going to have to, but just in case, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I have 521. I just want lots of space up there, and I'm going to take away 268. And as I am doing this, Miss Austin is thinking, oh my goodness, you know what I forgot to do, guys? So sad. I didn't make my plan. How am I even supposed to know exactly which steps I'm supposed to do if I don't make my plan? So I'm going to stop, refocus, and I'm going to make that plan. So first, I'm going to take 521 and take away 268. That's going to give me some kind of answer. I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to finish the problem. Let's see, I use that number. I use 268. The only thing left is minus 137. And parents, the reason this is so important to make this step, kiddos, you can probably tell your parents, we are still learning the process of this. So it's very important to stay organized and have a very clear-cut plan. Otherwise, sometimes we forget which numbers we've already used and what we're supposed to do next. Sometimes also my students might solve the first part, 521 minus 268, and tell me, here's the answer, I'm done. We need to recognize that there's still something else that we have to do. So that's why it's important to make that plan. Silly Miss Austin forgot. So let's get back to it. Okay, 1 minus 8. You have 1 cookie. You cannot eat 8 of them. I saw a lot of friends also on their assignments this past week. They would tell me, oh, the answer 7. That's not correct. You were thinking 8 minus 1, but that's not what this problem is. This is 1 minus 8. Since I don't have enough, I have to go next door and I'm going to regroup. I'm going to take from my neighbor. I'm borrowing here. I'm going to take 1 away from 2. That leaves me 1. That's why I left that big space up there. So I have lots of room to show that. And when I come back, I'm going to add 10 to this number right here. And 10 plus 1, 11. Now I have 11 minus 8. I'm going to count up. Grab 8, 9, 10, 11. That gives me a 3. Then I have 1, and I'm going to take 6 away. No, I'm not. You can't do that. So I have to regroup again. I'm going to come over here. I take 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. And I'm going to add 10 back here. And oh my goodness, I have another 11. So this time I'm going to count up from 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that gives me 5. And now I have 4 minus 2, and that one I can do. 4 minus 2 is 2. This goes into the plan. Now I have 253, and I'm going to take away 137. So let's set that one up right here. I have my hundreds, tens, ones. I'm going to skip a space. 253, taking away 137. And I have 3, and I'm taking away 7. It's not going to work. If I have 3, there's not 7 there for me to take. So I have to do some regrouping. Minus 1, add 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay, I'm going to count up from 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Gives me 6. 4 minus 3. If I have 4, yes, I can take 3 away. Leaves me with 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. The entire answer is 116. 116. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to take a look at one more problem. Hey guys, so here we have a mixed multi-step problem, and this happens very often where you have to do addition and subtraction. Next week, we'll talk more about how to figure out your plan. Remember, for today, we're just focused on looking at the skill and how to solve a problem. So I'm going to record this one in my notebook. You can record with me 428 plus 327 minus 186 will give me an answer. Okay, make sure you have that recorded into your notebook. And here is mine. I have it recorded horizontally, but remember, we don't solve horizontally. We're going to solve vertically, up and down. I'm not going to be silly and forget. So this time, I'm going to make my plan. So step 1, I'm going to solve the first part. 428 plus 327 will give me a box answer. My students are really good at telling me box, and then I know I've done 428. I did plus 327, so now I need to do minus 186. They're really good at telling me where that box goes and where the line goes. You know, the line is the entire answer, and the box is what we're going to use in the next step. So let's set up, and I think I want to use the same setup that I used before. Use that place value, help me stay organized. Skip a line. I'm going to do 428 plus 327. 8 plus 7. Oh, that's almost a double. Let's see, 8 doubled is 16. So 1 less, that's going to be 15. Let me regroup that one. 1 plus 2 plus 2. I know 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 more, it's going to give me 5. And then 4 plus 3, 4. Count on 5, 6, 7. 755. That's not my entire answer. It's only part of the answer. So now I have 755. I'm going to take away 186. Hundreds, tens, and ones. Skip a line. Set up that problem according to my plan. 755, and I'm going to take away 186. Parents, watch out for students not paying attention to what the sign says. This is something we see very often in the classroom. They will write it down correctly, but then they still add. So just double check that before they're turning in their work as they're completing an assignment. 5 plus 6 is 11. I'm going to regroup. 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus one more gives me 14. OMG. I am going to stop right here, boys and girls. Because I just told you, what did I just tell you? I just said, parents, watch out for your kiddos because they might accidentally do the opposite of what it says. And what did Miss Austin do? It's been a long quarantine, boys and girls. So I'm going to scrap that. If you don't know what I'm talking about yet, it's that I made a mistake. I was still doing addition, even though I can see very clearly my plan is subtraction. So I hope I didn't confuse you horribly. I know a lot of times I like to, oh, there's a little map there, right? I like to try to trick my students and make mistakes on purpose so they can catch me. Well, this time, you just caught me in a mistake. It was not a planned mistake. So, gone. Bye. Let's try that again. Okay. Here is my new place value chart. And since you did catch me in such a big mistake, be aware of that. If you can catch your mistakes, it makes you a great mathematician, boys and girls, to recognize that maybe your plan went wrong. That's a very important part of working in math. You have to be able to analyze your work and find out what went wrong, where did my mistake come from, why didn't I get the answer right? So that's a great thing right there. It happens. Okay, subtracting 5, take away 6. I can't do that. If I only have 5, don't have 6 to take. Going to regroup, take 1, add a 10 in there. 15 minus 6. So if I have 15 and I want to take 6 away, then let's see what I have left. I will have 9. 4 minus 8, oh, can't work that one out either, so I need to do some more regrouping. 14, take away 8, I'm going to count out 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5 and 1 is 6. And then 6 minus 1, that one I can do, 6 minus 1 is 5. That gives me a total answer of 569. And if Miss Austin knew how to hit rewind on this, you probably wouldn't have caught that mistake. That is quite okay. All right, guys, so let's take a look at ending our lesson. Okay, guys, so now it's your turn. Please go to your assignment on the peak of the week and practice your skills. Be sure to turn it into your teacher by your due date. Stay safe and have fun. And watch out. Don't make those mistakes like Miss Austin made. Oh. See you next time.